How you doing, everybody? How you doing, everybody? And welcome back to Dicey Decisions, where we roll dice, spin stories, and play some. Today's Dicey Spotlight is going to be preceded by a warning. For some reason, our recording software got super kerfuckled, and I sound like I am super drunk in this episode, which is not true. I was actually super drunk while editing this episode. So, thank you, dear. So just keep that in mind. If there's any issues, you could just blame it on the alcohol. This God, I feel so bad for for the Dicey Spotlight. God, they don't need my help. Anyway, I have mentioned in the past the kick-ass class modifier module. Well, now we're going to talk about Ancestry and Culture, an alternative to race in 5e, which is written by published by Arcanist Press on Drive-Thru RPG. I'm going to put a link in the description down below. Wizards of the Coast refuses to address racism and the colonialist, just everything in their games, but people have kind of already done the work for them. If only I just, threw some money at them and say, hey, can I use this in just the next published thing? And just like, yeah, sure. Or bring people on your team that actually know what the fuck they're talking about. Maybe do that. So that's my soapbox for the day. Ancestry and Culture, an alternative to race in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It's on Drive-Thru RPG. It's made by Arcanist Press. Go ahead and check it out. They are awesome. The showtime. Last we left our story, the newly dubbed Lightningvars had made their way to the once a great trade city of Lugvalt, at the kind of convergence of two rivers that become the Dothar, named for the ancient elven city that exists somewhere in the forest across the river. This city of Lugvalt is home to what is known as the White Market, which is an open-air market where anything goes except for the trading of sentient beings. The people in charge of the city, known as the Blue Talon, they are very strictly against that, as they well should. However, anything else goes. And they get their own little percentages from all coin transactions that happen. So a weird culture around bartering has also kind of grown up in the area. You guys have arrived here and found your way towards your destination somewhere to the northeast in the continent of Beconville. Those of you familiar enough with the general geography knowing that your goal lies somewhere near or in the great desert known as the Scorch. However, your way is blocked by a low bridge that apparently there's a lot of red tape to get the bridge moved somehow for you all to pass. This bridge, I believe known as, it is called the Moordale Bridge, is kind of one of the big landmarks of the city. And you find yourselves moving in that direction this early morning, as the previous evening, drama aside, you had a spectacular business day with the debut of the Mudcat Cafe, a little coffee joint run by Finnan and assisted greatly by the rest of the Lightningvars. You all make your way towards the Moordale Bridge as you have an appointment with the governor of Greater Lugvalt, a Mr. Governor Verdendusk, who is a rather flamboyant, not at all derivative of a of another famous elf. Totally not derivative at all. What are you talking about? I come up with original characters here. I will say we pick up our story as you all are slowly making your way towards the Moordale Bridge along the what the big L-shaped or upside down L-shaped street known as Lugvalt Way. That leads from the docks all the way up through the residential and business districts, past the trade district to Moordale Bridge. And everyone's walking together. We'll say we kind of yada-yada'd it at the end of last session, unless you guys want to correct me here, but or do something before heading out. But Oren had been like, "Hey, so that guy was really weird. Maybe we shouldn't let Finnan go alone." And y'all were like, "Oh yeah, probably not." And then you went with Finnan to his meeting.
I mean, it was just fine. Like, the guy's, yeah, he's out there, but I mean, there was a council that was out there at one point, but you know.
Yeah, look how well that's ended.
That's not a good example.
Proving my point.
Listen, shut up.
As you all begin making your way down the road, Soot has been a little quiet this morning. He doesn't seem to have slept well. And Helga, I guess, is thinking Helga thoughts.
Yes.
Indeed. This is correct.
Helga thoughts are like, I don't know, she's just like, her mind's like vaguely floating around, like if you're walking, she's like looking around at all this stuff, she's like, store, person.
It zooms in on her brain, and you just hear
and occasionally like just the one word.
Store.
Basically, if you've ever like driven in the car with me, and I've been like bored, and I'm just reading all the signs, I'm like, look, Joe's Crab Shack. Oh hey, look, there's a Mission Barbecue. Oh hey, look, the McDonald's.
Not sponsored by any of those.
Oh yeah, I just like write down like the signs.
That's
Helga,
elf.
as you're...
That looks like two children in trench coat.
Whoever that... They're actually halflings. Actually, yeah, Helga, as you're people watching, go ahead and roll a perception check.
15.
15? They are actually a pair of. There's actually a pair of middlings in a trench coat, but you can't quite figure out what they're doing. Only time will tell. As you are walking,
I
though,
don't like that.
They look at you and they wink.
it's
No way.
John
I'm sorry.
Manperson from shit. What's that goddamn show called? The Horseman show. Fuck.
BoJack Horseman?
BoJack Horseman.
BoJack Horseman?
It's BoJack.
You literally were so
What is
close.
that horseman show called?
I forgot his name was BoJack. I just knew it was Horseman. I am a little drunk right now. Give me, just
Oh,
bear
no.
with me.
Hooray! I'll get a little drunk with
Punch
you.
drunk love man.
I always get a little bit drunk
already
before
there,
I try to
baby.
kill the party. It's okay.
Amazing.
So, I already rolled in that one, so we're all good.
So you are thinking
Anyway.
very deeply about your dreams the previous evening.
Oh.
Helga, you do notice actually
Yeah, I
as
am.
you all are walking east towards the bridge, it is, the sun isn't that high in the sky. It's still pretty early morning, maybe like 9 in the morning.
Oh, we're walking directly into the sun. That's so like glaring.
Yeah, there's a lot of sunlight in your eyes, but it's just beginning to crest over the trees across the river. The very, very tall trees. So it's not, it's not the worst thing in the world to be walking into the sun. But you do see quite a lot of blue-robed individuals in small groups, kind of passing, going in the opposite direction, going west, kind of moving into the city. They seem to be coming from the direction of the bridge. Yeah, so that's what you see. The rest of you, as you continue to make your way, you kind of start to join this naturally forming queue of some people with carts, just some people with sacks over their back, just a few elves maybe. Some of most of the elves look tired, like they were kind of out all night partying, and they're finally making their way back home at 9 in the morning. You kind of get some of you with the higher wisdom scores. You do recognize the Walk of Shame. In a few people. It's a party town. What you gonna do?
Do we look like them because we're tired, but like
For totally different reasons.
not like yeah. Like, do we blend in with that crowd?
Roll a general deception check or charisma check, I guess.
I think that would just be funny. I just rolled a 6.
The DC
plus
was
1,
very
7.
low because you actually are very tired, so you blend in quite nicely, Soot.
Soot's ashes kind of look like smudged mascara. So so he really like blends in with that crowd. Someone gives him a nod and he looks like really offended.
Like they try, like they're giving you a sympathetic, like, yeah, me too, man, and he's just like, oh my god, no.
It's like,
dare
oh my god.
How dare you look at me?
Dare-
Do not
But-
Don't look at me.
forward.
You join this
Not the word.
quickly moving queue that passes between guards in that coppery, more leaf sleekly designed armor. The guards who make sure that the bridge is kept, more or less. As people are passing through, a lot of them are flashing paper, some of them just kind of like nodding, waving. You can kind of, you start to get a feel like, some people are residents and some people are, approved business, making their way towards, all over the bridge. And eventually it becomes your little ragtag team's turn, and Finn and you step forward. Hello there. Papers, please.
Oh, yeah. Of course, my good man. And he hands up the letter.
Kind of like opens up, skims over real quick. His eyes widen a little bit when he gets to the bottom. All right. You all have a good rest of your visit to Greater Lugvalt. Try to keep your eyes on the path if it's your first time.
That's not in the least bit ominous.
Keep our eyes on the floor.
All right, next.
Okay,
Like, we
let's
can't look. Helga's gotta
I-
stop looking at the stores now.
eyes path, guys. Come on, Let's go.
You
Kat
squint at the guard.
definitely has her head downcast, and like after we pass the guard, she kind of mummers to herself and casts, alter self and makes herself look like how she did. Less grotesque to the more highbrowed individuals.
So you all make your way onto the bridge along with all these other people, and it's a rather thin bridge. It's maybe 10 feet across at its widest point, maybe 15. There are no rails. It is made of this interesting stone. It is made of an... God damn it. You two with the fucking peanut gallery, I swear to God.
I mean, I'm not gonna make jokes. I'm not gonna make a joke about the baby peanut and the fact that Mr. Peanut must have fucked. I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm just gonna
The bridge
keep
is
my
made of a
mouth
strange iridescent stone. Almost indistinguishable from most granite or flagstone. This dark gray stone, but as the light catches it, especially as the sun continues to rise, there's this strange iridescent sheen to it. And something is obviously unnatural. There's something that's obviously unnatural about the bridge, considering that it has no supports. It is just one curving arc, a single curving arc from one end of the river, like 100 feet to the other side. That's just this gentle arc.
I don't like it.
Heavy carts pulled by like some oxen are going across it confidently. People are in groups just chatting to each other. And the bridge ends in the shadow of the forest known as Darkwood.
I kneel down as we're walking and kind of like wrap my knuckle on the stone, kind of like trying to figure out the fuck is this?
Do you wear any rings or any metal?
When he knocks, I say, "Who's there?"
All thoughts, everyone.
Yeah, I'd say that Finnan does. Actually, hold on. Let me check my Hero Forge mini that I just made.
He's got some nice earrings going on there.
And he's got his wristband. So I'm gonna say, yeah, he probably does have at least a ring or two.
Okay. It's the sound of when you lightly tap a fork against a crystal glass. It makes this nice, a very nice C-sharp note.
Oh, it's okay. And you just kind of, all right. I'm not an expert, but pretty sure this is magic of some kind.
Roll an I'll consider that as you rolling an Arcana check. You can go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
You know what? Sure, I will accept that.
Can I also view this bridge to... I don't know. I'm super curious about this. Like, I know that I'm, like, lost in my thoughts from being shaken about last night. But, Misty... Sorry, she knocked over my dice box.
But Misty.
You naughty girl. But could I also do my own Arcana check or something?
Sure. You could do an Arcana or History check.
That's a big...
Okay.
Could that count for me as well?
Sure.
Doesn't matter, I got a big fat 4.
Okay, well...
Oh. Baby rolled a 2!
Y'all, this is a weird bridge.
So that's nothing. This is so shiny. I am so existential right now, so it looks on the verge of crying. Anyway.
No, we've kind of danced around it, but like Soot actually kind of looks like shit right now.
Poor babe.
Finnan's
Helga
got
offers to
a...
piggyback ride.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Soot climbs onto Helga's shoulders and hugs her head.
Oh.
Carpet scooches over begrudgingly.
Soot hugs Crumpet.
trumpet is hugged begrudgingly.
Yay.
Yeah, like that.
Oh.
It's like when I pick
That
up
just
Carrie and
sounded
she
like a
doesn't like
moo, Tiffany.
Trumpet moves, it's canon.
So everyone does move, so
Well, this is what this podcast has become, guys.
move over.
Moo.
Moo ASMR with Dicey decisions.
Anyway, you were gonna say Finnan?
Yeah, no, I got nothing right now.
Okay. So yeah, that's what you. It's an interestingly constructed bridge. You haven't seen any architecture like this. You haven't seen any material like this before. Something about it is odd, but you don't know exactly what. We'll say, for the sake of not being extremely vague, you aren't sure whether it is being held up by some unknown means of very specific architecture or through magical means. Anything is possible when science and magic collide.
It's one of those Elon Musk bridges.
It's one of those Elon Musk bridges, yeah. It's got these really shitty angles to it. It's just, like, aesthetically unpleasing at all. No. It is gorgeous. This is a gorgeous bit of architecture.
It's so nice.
However, it takes quite a while, even though everyone is walking at a nice, even pace, it takes quite a while to get across this really long bridge, and you see there are still some boats moored, not directly at the docks, but, you know, near the bridge, perhaps people that are, like you guys, waiting for, you know, the red tape to be cut through finally, and you can actually get the fuck on your way. But until then, you get across the bridge, and everyone moves under the darkening canopy of Darkwood. Even though the sun is climbing high in the sky, you are almost immediately plunged into like dusk twilight kind of light. It is almost immediately like, ooh, it's kind of dark in here. I don't like this. However, there are a number of guards on this side of the bridge as you step onto a mulch pathway. And they're all of them carrying these very wonderfully curved torches, kind of like the Olympic torch, how it has that really nice, like, sleek design to it. Like, they're all carrying one of those. And there is one who is kind of standing in front of this slowly amassing group of people and is, like, counting off people. And as you guys... and it kind of, like, moves through the crowd and, like, gets to you guys. Okay, 48, 49, and 50, and, like, points at Gerg, as all of you have already passed, and says, all right, you're the last one. Everyone's going to have to wait here for the next. All right, everyone. Hello. See some familiar faces here, but I see some unfamiliar ones, so just going to go ahead and give the whole spiel. Just make sure you know what to do. Hello everyone. If this is your first time on the People Mover, please just keep your eyes forward.
The People
Don't get
Mover,
distracted.
really? The People Mover?
Did you have a question, miss?
Nothing.
All right, if it's your first time, just make sure you keep an even walking pace. Make sure you keep your eyes on my torch. Don't lose sight of it for longer than a minute. If you see any other moving lights, do not follow. Wait, and you will catch up with the next group as they pass through. Any questions?
Finnan raises his hand.
You, sir.
Why?
Yes, what the fuck?
The whole crowd kind of like, everyone just kind of chuckles a bit. He says, all right, definitely your first time. This is a part of a security system we have in place, more or less, just to make sure that people who aren't allowed in the city actually can get into the city. This is just simply the path. The Forest of Darkwood is very old, older than, I would say, anyone alive. Even the oldest elves remember this forest being ancient when they were wee ones. So there are things in here that you may not want to meet or follow if you lose the group. So stay with the group, stay close to everyone, make sure you have a buddy if you can. If not, keep your eyes on my torch, and we will be just fine. It's about a 5 to 10 minute walk. We will be taking it rather brisk, okay?
All right.
All right, anyone else?
Sut, taps Helga's shoulder and whispers the phrase he said, "Things to follow," and makes a questioning noise for her.
Helga makes a questioning noise back. What?
He points at her and then back to the tour guide.
Oh, yes, I will follow. Yes, I am following him.
Sit
The wrong
size.
person to sit on the back of.
Do you
So
need
gives
to go
up.
down? Do you need
So-
to get down?
Sit nods. He's still holding Crumpet though.
Okay, you can get down. So Helga helps him down off the back. Off the back.
Crumpet does the thing where he like latches
Okay.
onto Helga as well as being held by, as well
Oh my
as
god!
as being held by
Just
Soot.
in my.
Am
You're
I
just
using Crumpet like what is it, like a little not ladder, but like one of those slide rope things?
Oh my
Like a
god.
fire pole?
You're repelling off of
Yeah.
me.
You're
using
repelling
Crumpet
off of Helga.
With
with a cat.
using Crumpet.
With Crumpet?
Crumpet is very
This is what
unhappy with
happens.
this. So you do take
Wow.
3 points of slashing damage as Crumpet does claw you with his back feet.
God.
You know, this is fair.
It's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Sounds like
fuck
what would happen.
this.
More than
Bad
fair.
bird.
Mm.
All right, if that's
Yeah, okay,
everything,
fair
we're gonna go ahead and get moving, everyone. Stay by me, please. And he starts marching off.
Yeah,
Alright.
We follow, I guess, right?
Yep, you and the
Yeah, I guess we go along the group.
yeah, totaling a group of 50 people, kind of like a pretty close group. Like everyone kind of not shoulder to shoulder, like bumping into each other, but like everyone has someone within view. And I'm assuming you guys are taking care to keep eyes on each other, if not the entire group.
yeah.
All right.
Are the sleeping people here?
In your group, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'm gonna use some digital dice. Missy, please move. Oh my god. Ay, nako.
Excuse me.
Missy. Perception.
Disgrace.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
18.
Nice. There is a group of about 3 of them. Just kind of about 10 feet ahead of you and a little bit to the left. You saw them when the guy was kind of giving the whole the elf was giving the whole spiel, and they are all of them river elves, and all of them have very dark circles under their eyes, quite similar to how you currently feel.
Interesting. Okay.
But they are marching along like the rest of the group, and the first minute or so, as you guys are walking, just kind of feels like just sort of haunted hayride over in. Any of you have been on the haunted hayride know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of you're just going, and it's like, all right, when does the weird stuff happen?
When does the money be worth it?
When does the money be worth it? That answer becomes apparent quite quickly, actually, however, after about the minute and a half as the overhead lighting moves from dusk to midnight. And the only light is that of the torch being held high above his head by the one elf guy. And I will have everyone, as you are going, roll a perception check. This is separate from any previous ones.
That's another
So
4.
rolled a 6.
So the total
Hey, Helga
of
rolled a 6.
9.
Okay.
6 for Helga.
So we have a 6, a 9, and a...
Nice.
Where
A
are my
6 or
dice?
6.
Oh my god, 2
You have
sixes,
a
a
6
9.
and a 9. Nice.
Turn the
Nice.
9 upside down.
Nice.
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 Nice. Nice. Nice.
What are we
God.
rolling again?
Perception.
You should roll a 9.
Tip,
One
have
second,
you,
I'm picking a die.
have you heard the small child at school who, like, anytime you ask for a number, he goes 69?
No, not yet,
Child.
but I would love to meet them.
Yeah, so it's the one that's the little brother of one of the older kids.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep, that tracks.
Alright, ba 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 ba. Shit! I'm sorry.
Ah. You know, that makes sense.
Michael's computer did the thing where it locked.
Oh no.
You know the password, it's okay.
Oh no.
Yes, I know the password.
The password is Sesame.
I'm not going to tell you what the password is, but do know that it includes the number 69.
Nice.
Of course it's nice.
It's easy to
Probably
remember.
up to 420.
Nice.
Nice.
Think of a little child saying nice.
Well, now I have to change the goddamn password, because
I didn't.
it's just 69, 69, 69, 69, 69.
No, it's not.
It's the typed out word 69, 69, 69.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually pretty smart. I'll remember that.
Well, now the whole world knows.
That we're all a bunch of
But
perverts.
where is Michael?
This is not even
Yeah.
a perverted act. This is just a dumb shitposting act at this point.
What if you did it in binary code? So, spelled out
It was
the word
literally just
69 in binary code.
That's kind of smart, but also that's so insufferable.
yeah.
I'm still waiting on Roll20 to load. I'm sorry. I am a villain. I'm the worst.
You just need to know what Katrina's perception modifier is.
I haven't even rolled it yet. I was still doing my test rolls. All right.
It's a +6.
Missy
That's
has been
good.
massaging my boob for the past
14.
3 minutes.
I mean, no, not 14.
Oh.
24.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big difference. So all of you
Are you having
are
a good time?
all of you are so focused on watching this guy's torch, making sure that you're following it through these as the path begins to wind and twist and turn and everything. You are just like, I am not getting lost in this creepy ass forest. But Katrina, you are able to kind of pay attention, and actually your ears do pick up. Everyone is rather quiet. Some people are kind of chatting to themselves, but most everyone is quiet. You just hear the shuffling of feet and the crunching of pine needles and the mulch beneath your feet as you all move through this path that has been treaded thousands of times. But you do think you hear quiet muttering, almost chanting from the elf bearing the torch. And with your arcane study that you have had in the past, you recognize this as more or less an arcane spell, probably to help him keep on the proper path.
Huh.
If only there
Interesting.
was a spell that allowed you to do that. But that happens. As you guys are following, it's about the second minute of total darkness that you begin to feel this odd sensation as you're walking. It's almost as if every step you take, you are moving forward an extra few feet, 10 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet. It feels like every step you take, wind rushes past you as you are walking normally and following this torch. You are focused on this torch as you are rushing through the forest. And it actually begins to make you feel a little bit nauseous when suddenly it stops.
I feel like he was accelerating us with the bell.
And you all there a couple of people next to you kind of stop and like kind of hold their stomachs a bit. As the torchbearer turns around to all of you, and the light of his torch is suddenly dwindled by the opening of gates behind him in the darkness that you could not previously see, but through these gates pours bright-ass sunlight. Just pure, bright sunlight. And these big, dark oak gates with this amazingly intricate scrolling on it in wrought iron. And it's being pushed open by about 4 armored elves per door as it opens up. And the torchbearer kind of lowers his torch, kind of blinks a bit in the bright light, and says, "All right, everyone, good job. Doesn't 1, 2, 3, excellent. We didn't lose anyone this time.
This time.
How often do you lose
this time.
people?
It is actually very rare. That's a bit of a joke, but I can see it's a bit early in the morning for that kind of humor. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome everyone, if this is your first time, to the ancient city of Lugvalt. And he kind of like steps to the side and gestures with his hands as your eyes finally adjust to the light, and you see you are actually kind of, everything is down. It's almost a bowl-shaped valley that this big wall is erected around. Haha, very funny. Above the city, you actually see...
around.
You see this massive... Fuck you. You see this... The tree canopy stretches up hundreds and hundreds of feet into the air and actually interlaces over the top of this city, where somewhere around the center of the city, that sunlight is not actually coming from the sun. You see a massive orb, somewhat familiar, floating above the city, stationary. And you see that the city itself is bathed in a strange light, like the quarter of the city directly in front of you as you look down over these buildings and houses. Everything is almost like it's growing out of the wood. There doesn't seem to be any planks or anything like that. It's this seamless growth of wood with metal hammered into it for stability, but these mostly wooden carved or magically grown houses and buildings and structures. You see gardens, you see some fountains, you see an ancient elven city, something some of you have only heard described in songs and poems, and it is somehow far more beautiful than you could have imagined. And the strangest thing about it is quarters of the city are bathed in different kinds of light. Directly in front of you, it is bright sunlight. To the left of you, you see almost an orangish sunset, almost purple, that to the far side of the city is bathed in shadow. This slight blue shadow, almost like the light that reflects off of the moon. And to your right, you see this pale early winter's morning sunlight. And you realize all of this light is coming from that same orb, which seems to be emitting light in different qualities over the city. And people are just filing past you. Gurg and Oran are just like awestruck, like you hear Oran go, "Oh wow, I've never been here before." What are you all doing?
Yeah, I don't think don't think any of us really has.
Never really, not really a big arts city, so not, was never really on our list. Wow.
What's the city known for then?
Trade mostly. Academic research once upon a time, but, I don't quite
Schools
think
for
that they
bitches, though.
that as well. Trade mostly. It was a bit of an administrative place when the original Elven air quotes empire was kind of in charge way back when. I don't know really what they do now, other than just exist.
Me.
Well, do we know anything about like the layout of this place, or do you think we should like ask a guard?
I mean, as you can see, the city is divided into quarters. I know where we are right now is the Sunlight Quarter. Back there's the Midnight Quarter, and then there's the Dawn and Dusk Quarters, but I couldn't tell you what they did or what's going on there. We should ask a local.
All right.
Their
Well,
visitor center.
what sort of shops are immediately visible?
Go ahead and roll a perception check. And what was your question, Helga?
Maybe there is a visitor center.
Maybe there is.
Should I ask?
You can roll
15.
a perception check as well. 15. In the immediate area, you see what looks like a rather well-established inn. A number of there's a kind of a tailor's. There's a tanner's nearby. You see what looks like maybe like a stationery, like they sell like paper, quills, inks, things like that. Just like kind of, you just see just a number of residential buildings. It looks like a lot of these buildings are designed to be, bottom floors is the business, top floor is where the business owner lives. There are some more residential-looking homes to the side, but not so. Most of the stuff you see here is business. Or nondescript other buildings.
Yeah, Finnan just looks over at this inn and just says, "All right, I'm gonna pop in and see if we can get a lay of the land. You guys, if you want to come with, if you want to meet back here in like an hour, go explore some. I don't know."
Soot has been looking kind of like not starry-eyed, but like brighter-eyed than he was before. At this city that like looks like it came out of his imagination. But more importantly, he has been kind of keeping eyes at the Blue Robe people, the sleeping cult. Those
Keeping
people.
an eye on them. Okay.
Yeah. Does he know where they went?
They went forward down this down the street, quite literally down the street, because it does have rather a slope to it, and it seems that they might be making their way towards what Oran described as the Dusk Quarter, which is kind of forward and to the left.
Okay. So it looks back to his group and then towards there, and then he gestures towards, like, not in the direction of where the sleeping cult went, but like kind of more towards like maybe where it seems like there's bustling people and it's like shops. Dazzling, yes.
You want to go shopping?
Da.
I will go shopping with this.
I don't see that much of an issue of us splitting up as long as, Finnan doesn't go into the proverbial lion's den alone.
So what? I'm supposed to bring my adventuring party to meet the parents? Jeez, you
Nah,
guys are fucking lame.
Da.
you have an entourage. Use it.
Less so to meet the parents and more to make sure that the parents don't, throw you in a cell overnight.
For what? What do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't know. What are you gonna do, Mr. Meet the Parents?
Nothing that was thrown in jail. I don't know why you're so worried. Like, he's an eccentric guy. Like, his type are all over the place. Like, it's not even a big deal.
So it,
Alright,
like,
ready,
squints at
harmonize.
that.
That happened in canon. Everyone did that in canon. What were you saying, Helga?
I don't even remember now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just scratch it. She didn't start to say anything.
Okay. Well, we're here to hang out with you. It doesn't look like there's much going to be made here, so we're just gonna stick with whoever needs the backup. Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna go in
So
the
it
end.
pushes them towards Finnan. Finnan.
Adorable.
Guys, I have been on the road for just as long as you, if not longer. You don't think I can handle
So
myself?
it makes
I don't think it's from
so
a
it makes
point.
like a romantic noises, like strumming noises and air guitars with his fingers and winks, and then like gestures towards Oran and Gerg at Finnan.
Aww. So it is.
Not
your-
at Finnan. Yes.
This is a business meeting.
So it is your wingman.
Yeah. Listen, this particular meeting
Well
is a business
done.
meeting, yes. But I'm going first to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to actually go.
Sure.
I don't know. I think
The
in
gates
my
close behind you all.
opinion, Finnan is big boy, so to speak.
Thank you,
He
Helga.
he can go on his own if he thinks he is good. But
Thank
also,
you, Helga.
we are rather wary of the leader type people, given the last council we came across.
I mean, you make a good point.
As we rightfully should be.
I won't go to the meeting alone. How's that?
Yes.
I can concede to that.
Good, because I'm just going inside to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I don't need everybody right up my ass the moment I do that.
We will be up your ass
Okay.
a few moments later. We'll go up your ass a few moments later.
So it's nodding, as if this is reasonable.
Both Oran and Gerg look very uncomfortable.
She's
So, Katrina, what are you doing?
I was just going to stay out of trouble, honestly. She's kind of.
Everyone
She's
is
looking.
staring at you with like a "sure you are" kind of look.
Listen, I'm not exactly feeling very sure of myself lately, and I just want to be in the path of the least resistance.
It's
And-
okay, honey. Your body is going through some changes right now.
Jesus Christ.
Dragon puberty.
You may be experiencing
Maybe-
hot flashes.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, are there any libraries around here? Do we know?
That's why I'm going inside to fucking
Well, then I'm gonna come inside with you, ass.
Finn
walking
started
into the
walking.
goddamn inn.
Finn started walking.
Finn he just starts yelling and walks away. All right.
Okay, bye, Finn. Have fun.
Finn
Have
and
fun
closely
filming the
followed by
castle.
Katrina, they enter the inn. Oren and Gur kind of look at Helga and Soot expectantly, just like, okay, so then.
Let us go do the shopping with Soot. Soot, you're in charge of our pack.
Set kind of smiles and nods and scurries along to the buildings that he sort of gestured to. He doesn't even remember. But yeah, the more crowded shopping buildings.
You do remember where you saw the blue robed people go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a little logo of Katrina and Finnan's face kind of like comes towards the camera and goes away from it. You
Gotta spin.
Finnan and Katrina, you both enter this nice small establishment, which is let me get some town ambience going for you.
You sound a little quiet there.
That's because
Oh,
I'm
buddy.
far away.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if something weird happened.
Bye, I missed you.
I'm back. Sorry.
Stupid joke. Stupid joke.
Man, if you sound far away right now, imagine after you move. You're gonna be so far away.
No, that's so
No,
sad.
That's really sad.
Kid, don't do
Sorry.
Bye now.
Oh, by the way,
Hmm?
book one of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or else.
Okay. Yes.
We have some stuff
I
for you though,
will.
so we can make it a trade.
Do a
It's
handoff.
not a trade. It's
Anyway, if you could stop like masturbating your microphone, Carly.
I was doing it.
No, we're not doing this now.
I was doing it for dramatic effect.
Oh my God. Okay.
What would happen if I put it in my
Just
mouth?
Please don't.
Don't believe
Fucking God. I'm trying to get through the fucking session.
It's not happening, Mike. You have to realize that.
Oh my God, I wanted to run combat tonight. Still have an hour and a half left. Maybe we'll get to it. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the two of you enter the building, which is
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna kick you from the fucking server, I swear to God. So, you enter this establishment, which has kind of an open floor plan. There's a desk in front of you, and then to either side, around some columns, some wooden columns that support, a second floor. There is some nice seating areas. Not much in the way of your normal inn. This is definitely kind of more of a lounge. You approach this desk, and an elf, maybe, can't tell how old they are. Who am I kidding? A river elf. They have kind of like an undercut going on, but like a side shave, not an undercut. It's a side shave, and like these long strands of hair that just like come over to the side artistically, and they kind of like fix their glasses as you approach and say, "Hello, will you be reserving a space today?"
Perhaps not right this moment. We might need somewhere to stay later this evening, but for right now, I'm more so concerned with getting a lay of the land, understanding exactly where everything in the city is.
They look completely unsurprised. This definitely does not seem to be the first time that someone has asked them this. All right, so you're currently in the currently in the Sunlight District. Across the way is the Midnight District, obviously. The red one is the Dusk, and the blue one is the Dawn Quarter. If you are looking for places to sleep, I would suggest somewhere like the Dusk or Dawn, or perhaps the Midnight, if you're the kind of person that is not a heavy sleeper. If you're looking for places to eat, definitely Dusk or Dawn. More places to buy things that you would find in a normal market here in the Sunlight. If anything else, that's usually
So
that's
let
usually
me-
the questions I get. Sorry.
let me see if I understand how the city is structured. So the Sunlight seems to be kind of the general catch-all, anything that travelers might need, not necessarily always for the locals. If you want like an inn, you're gonna go somewhere where it makes sense to sleep, so you're not gonna sleep during the sunlight hours.
Exactly.
Sounds like if you go towards the Midnight District, that's almost a little more, shall we say, pretty under the table.
Not so much, just more nightlife stuff, although I'm currently on the clock right now, but hearsay is that, the more dubious things that happen in this world would happen in the Midnight District under cover of night.
Interesting. So I just have, the only other thing that I have immediate need to find where it's at. And Finnan pulls out the letter of introduction and offers it out.
They kind of take it, read it a bit, kind of like this puzzled look, kind of looks you over, kind of looks Katrina over. Yeah, administrative buildings are going to be, they're going to be, and you notice their accent kind of comes back a little bit. Straight down the road, it's a tall 4-story building, directly in the center. That's at least where the government, buildings are. There's about 4 of them. If you're looking for the governor's office, it's going to be the one closest to the Sunlight Quarter. So, yeah, that'll be the first building you come to. Just show them this letter. That should be enough to get you through the door and into the queue.
All right. Now, let me ask one last question out of pure curiosity more than anything. As a business owner myself. What's the business like for an inn in the middle of the Sunlight District?
We get a lot of questions about where to go in the city.
What? Yes, but I think you know what?
Well, let me put it this way. I don't know what kind of experience you have with elven folk, but we don't really need to sleep much. So, while this is technically an inn, it's more of a lounge, in that people come here to socialize or just stop in for maybe a few hours, just rest a bit as opposed to sleeping. Whereas, any long-term sleeping places are for usually travelers somewhere else in the city.
All right. I mean, that makes sense. I'll admit I was being a little bit cheeky about it. So that's an apology from me then.
You're not the first, you won't be the last. It's fine.
All right. Thank you so much for your information.
No problem. If you need a place to sit down, we have excellent rates.
Certainly. And Finnan turns to walk out, and once he's clear of the door and is out of earshot of the guy, he's just like, why the fuck would you pay money to sit at a... You could sit on a bench outside. What the fuck are they on about?
Katrina,
He's saying this to Katrina mostly.
Yeah, Kat
Yeah.
kind of just shrugs. Let me know when an hour has been up from when she cast the spell, please. Because that is when it will end.
you cast it about, when you started walking.
When we walked over the bridge.
Yeah, it only took a few minutes to get to the city, but you don't quite know how far into the forest you went. Though, judging by the canopy of trees above you, deep into the forest.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I can retcon that you also asked about the library, because that didn't kind of work well with the
Oh shit! Sorry.
conversation as we were going. No, that's fine. We can retcon that that they mentioned that like the any library would be where there would be good ambient lighting. So somewhere here in the Sunlight District is the local library. It's a few streets down. Except they call it an archive, so...
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did it seem like there was food being served or anything like that?
Not in the immediate vicinity, but you did smell some hot tea.
Well, I meant in that inn specifically.
Yeah, you didn't see anyone, like, with any food, but you did smell tea brewing.
Finn just rolled his eyes a little bit, and he's just like, all right, well, we got some information. Do we try to go find the rest of them and relay that, or do we go on a little explore by ourselves?
Depends. I know that Oren is being a little bit overbearing. I do have to say I don't really trust that guy. The oh, hello everybody. I don't trust him. But
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
I do know that you can take care of yourself. I wanted to kind of clear that up.
Oh, I know. That's why I promised that I wouldn't be going to see him without you guys. I understand your guys' concern. I've done business deals before. This is nothing new.
I'm aware of that. It's just, I don't know.
Government and the Lightningvars don't exactly mix.
No, not even a little bit.
Well, maybe we can change the pattern up a little bit.
Yeah, I do hope to make some more allies if we can.
Well, how about this? Maybe let's go for a little stroll, see what kind of shops are around. We told people to meet back up in an hour, so waste a little time.
I like that idea. Do you mind if we pop by the library for a moment or two?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And he starts moving in that direction.
So, thank you all so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out our Patreon, where you can support us at patreon.com/DiceyDecisions. Once again, go ahead and check out Arcanist Press, Ancestry and Culture, our alternative to race in D&D 5e. It's really, really cool. If you are listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to leave us a review, because it super duper helps us out. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment about your favorite part, and your predictions for the next episode. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Please be safe, share some love, and tell a story. Good night.